Now on Fast Track News, a member of the Purdue exponent has been arrested for preliminary charges of rape.
Plus, Ukraine Student Association of Purdue recently put out flags on Memorial Lawn.
We also get a glimpse of the new CEO of C-SPAN, Sam Feist's conversation with the CCSE student community this past Tuesday. All your campus news, weather, and sports is straight ahead. Fast Track is back.
Happy Friday, Boilermakers. It's Friday, February 28th. I'm Connor Sutterly.
And I'm Kyla McElroy. Here's a look at your campus news for the week. First, a sports editor for Purdue's student newspaper was arrested this past weekend. According to court records, the editor faced marijuana charges 2 years ago, but now he's facing something much more serious: 2 preliminary charges of rape and 1 of criminal confinement.
Reporter Katie Dongier has a story and a warning. The following story contains details of sexual violence that may be triggering to some.
West Lafayette police are investigating a reported rape that allegedly occurred near campus last weekend.
According to a probable cause affidavit filed earlier this week, the victim went to a bar off State Street with a friend. There, the victim and her friend were reportedly approached by the suspect, later identified as Vincent Limbo, a 21-year-old mechanical engineering student and sports editor for the Purdue exponent. Later in the night, court documents said the victim was separated from her friend, who she believed had her purse and phone. According to the affidavit, Limbo said he would let her call her friend, but they would have to go to his apartment to charge his phone. They walked to his apartment, and that's where the affidavit says Limbo allegedly attacked the victim and raped her twice. She reportedly fought back and at some point escaped to a nearby apartment. Police were called and Limbo was arrested Sunday. We reached out to Purdue University for comment, and they said that Limbo had been banned from campus pending the results of the case. Limbo's employer, the Purdue exponent, released a statement following the arrest. It says in part that he will be suspended from his duties until further notice. The statement goes on to say that they will be cooperating with the police and Purdue. They also plan to cover the story as they would with any other student arrest.
Limbo appeared in court at 3 o'clock yesterday. We will continue to follow the story as it updates. This is Katie Donnier reporting for Fast Track News.
If you are a student experiencing interpersonal violence, Purdue's Care Center is here to help with free counseling services and 100% confidentiality.
Appointments can be scheduled Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. by calling the office at 765-495-2273 or by emailing care@purdue.edu. Walk-in appointments are also available. Moving to weather, we've seen temperatures that can go from 20 degrees to 50 degrees in the span of a week.
I'm not sure, but I don't trust this sudden warmth. It seems like fall spring to me. Speaking of weather, meteorologist Becca Schumann is here with a first look at the forecast.
Happy Friday, Boilermakers. I'm your meteorologist, Becca Schumann, and I have your forecast for the week. Now today, we're looking at a high of around 58 degrees. However, I want to point out the windier conditions that we will see today. We're seeing winds right around 20 to 25 miles per hour, so this is going to make temperatures feel a little bit cooler than they actually are. Looking at our low, we're looking at a low falling to right about 30 degrees, and I do want to point out we're seeing gusts up to 40 miles per hour. So these are some strong gusts, so hold on to your hats or anything like that as you're walking to class. Looking at our radar, we are staying dry for our area, but something I do want to point out is this Clipper system that's north of us, and this is what is bringing those stronger, heavier winds to our area. So while we might not be seeing any snow or rain, we are seeing those winds. Looking at our planner for today, we're going to have those winds throughout the afternoon with cloudy conditions falling into our evening, and those winds are going to be calmer for us into the evening. When I get back, I will be going through our weather headlines and the things we want to pay attention to as we head into the new month.
This past Tuesday, the new CEO of C-SPAN, Sam Feist, visited Purdue. C-SPAN, founded by Purdue alum Brian Lamb, has worked closely with Purdue through the Center for C-SPAN Scholarship and Engagement Program. During Feist's visit, he discussed the importance of nonpartisan media and direct access to elected officials, which is part of the C-SPAN's mission statement.
I'm a big believer that my job as a political journalist is not to tell you who's right or to tell you who's wrong. My job is to not tell you who to vote for. My job is to not give you the answers. My job is to give you the information that you need to make an important civic decision who to vote for when it comes to political news. And I believe that more than ever, and that's why C-SPAN is a perfect fit.
Feist says that C-SPAN will continue to work with Purdue and the CCSE student community.
This past Monday, the U.S. opposed a resolution that calls for Russia to withdraw from Ukraine. Instead of signing the treaty, they drafted their own resolution to call for peace. To commemorate 3 years of war in Ukraine, the Purdue Ukrainian Student Association put out flags on Memorial Mall. They also installed a timeline of posters with events detailing the progression of war. In an official Instagram statement, the association says, "As the war persists, we urge everyone to stay informed, take action, and stand in solidarity with Ukraine." The flags will be taken down today, February 20th.
Yesterday was National Chili Day, and the Department of Theater and Dance made sure to celebrate. In the Powell Hall Green Room, staff and students alike brought in chili and a variety of toppings to celebrate the holiday. They had a great turnout with veggie and gluten and dairy-free options. The Roof School of Design, Art, and Performance holds many events such as this one, though this is their first time hosting an event in the spring. They plan to start having more spring events, along with their annual fall.
Up next, the fire department has new ambulances, but instead of being traditional red and white, it has new colors that display school pride.
And still to come, if you're looking for a new restaurant to try, there will be a steakhouse opening near the Burke Boilermaker Golf Complex.
Don't go away. Fast Track will be right back.
The program allows students to finish their bachelor's degree and also get an online master's degree that overlap during their last year at Purdue.
Students can more quickly work towards a graduate degree while concurrently starting their professional careers.
The online program allows them to kind of go at their own pace, and so they're not having to abide by the academic calendar.
And our goal is that this would make you even more compelling for your next opportunity in the workforce.
At Purdue University, we're not just students, we're future leaders. Join Air Force ROTC to embark on a journey of honor, excellence, and service. Learn, lead, and soar to new heights. It's not just a commitment, it's a calling. Purdue Air Force ROTC, where dreams take flight. Are you ready to rise?
I got a switch in my head. I go from living to dead. You got me seeing all red. Now I'm becoming.
I mean, every year's different, but it hasn't changed that much. Our league is just ominous, and you better lace them up tight and be ready to play every night. If not, you're going to get beat.
The University Fire Department welcomed a new face, but not to the crew. Actually, the department has a new ambulance with a Purdue paint job.
The improvements are more than meets the eye. Reporter Mason Shorter provides us with a glimpse.
Medic 16 is the department's third ambulance, and Fire Chief Anderson said it will be very beneficial during the early hot football games.
He also said the ambulance could be stationed outside of events like basketball games and the Grand Prix, and the half marathon to offer quicker care.
Purdue University Fire Department's latest addition, Medic 16, returns from a call.
I am Mason Shorter, standing right now outside of the Purdue University Fire Department, and right in front of their new ambulance, Medic 16. Medic 16, as you can see, has a more Purdue-themed deco, swapping out the black and red with black on gray.
I spoke with Fire Chief Brad Anderson about this decision.
Fire department, I think it's a good way for us to make the connection as updating the graphics to include that Purdue theme that you speak of was just a good way to make that connection.
The ambulance goes beyond a new look, with several features the previous lack. More supplies are fastened down, Fewer edges are exposed, the chassis is more heavy-duty, the cot is power-loaded, and several other improvements.
Lots of safety improvements as far as the construction of that patient care compartment, which makes it safer for our crews as they're working in the back, and certainly our patients that we're transporting.
Medic 16 is already being put to good use as the primary ambulance.
It's about 1,500 EMS calls for service in a year, so it gets used every day.
And it's off to another rescue. Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm Mason Shorter.
3, 2, 1. Medic 16 is the department's third ambulance, and Fire Chief Anderson said it will be very beneficial during the early hot football games.
Yeah, he also said the ambulance could be stationed outside of events like basketball games, the Grand Prix, and the half marathon to offer quicker care.
White Lodging will soon be adding an additional dining spot to the West Lafayette area. Boiler House Prime, which is set to open this spring, will be part of the Pete Dye Clubhouse on the Burke Boilermaker Golf Complex. Per the White Lodging Instagram, this American steakhouse will feature a bar lounge, a 2-story wine wall, and a seasonal terrace. The bar will serve a curated selection of classic cocktails, rare wines, and exclusive bourbons. As far as the menu goes, the classic steakhouse will serve the best cuts from Brush Creek Ranch alongside premium seafood. Named after the iconic Purdue Boilermakers, Boiler House Prime will offer a refined experience that celebrates the intertwined legacies of the university and its golfing visionaries.
Tease. If you're just now joining us, I will be taking a look at the windier conditions that we are expecting today. Also, we are seeing temperatures finally start to warm up as we near spring, so I'll be looking at that and what we can expect. Additionally, we are starting a new month. We're going into March, so I'm going to take a look at what we'll see in this new month coming up.
You're watching Fast Track News.
If you're just now joining us, these are the weather headlines that I'll be taking a look at today. We are going to be seeing windier conditions today, so I'll be telling you about that. Also, as we near spring, temperatures will start warming up for us, so I'm going to take a look at what we can expect as we go into the next week. Additionally, March is arriving tomorrow, so what can we expect as we head into this new month? I'll be talking about precipitation and temperature trends for this upcoming month. Now, looking at our game day forecast, if you're going to the game tonight to support the Boilermakers against UCLA, this is what we can expect. We are looking about little chillier temperatures as you walk into the game, right around 49 degrees. So make sure you have that jacket with you. Winds will still be strong. As we get into the evening, they're going to calm down a little bit for us, but still some gustier winds that we could see as we start the game. Tip-off at 8 p.m. We are looking at 47 degrees and then falling into the lower 40s as we go throughout the game and towards the end of the night. So looking at our weekend, we're going to have a pretty calm weekend. We're not going to see any rain this weekend. Things will stay dry for us, luckily. But we are looking at that windier conditions, windy weather today. And then looking at Saturday, temperatures are going to cool off for us just a bit, going into the 40s and then reaching the 30s on Sunday. So things will cool down for us a little bit this weekend, but I'll tell you about those warmer temperatures that we're going to see next week. Something to look forward to. Looking at March. So March is officially getting here tomorrow. We have the first day of March. So something I do want to point out is these are averages. So we're still going to see temperatures below and higher than these listed here, but it's just something to keep in mind as we head into spring. So our average temperature we're looking at for March is around 40 degrees. So again, we're still going to see some cooler days than this, but this is a good baseline. Now, looking at our average max temperature, so this is The average high that we'll be potentially seeing for March, we're looking at 50 degrees. So similar to these warmer days that we've had this past week, mid-50s, right around there is the warmer temperatures that we're going to be seeing on that end. And then looking at average precipitation, March tends to be a little bit less rainy than April, but a little wetter than the drier February that we've had this past month. So we're looking at precipitation right around 3 inches. Now, I do want to point out, we still may see some snow days, so still have some winter weather that we could be seeing, especially next week. I'll go into that. But the average last date of snowfall when we look over the past about 20 years is March 19th. Now, this is not a guarantee for this season. It's just a good estimate based off past climate information. So in a couple weeks, we may see our last snowfall as we head into the spring weather. Definitely something to look forward to. We can see these beautiful flowering trees here on Purdue's campus once we reach spring. So looking at our future cast, we're going to have dry conditions into next week, but once we get into Tuesday night into Wednesday, that's when we're going to see this system come our way and we will be seeing some rainier skies. When I come back, I'll be looking at our full 7-day forecast.
Just ahead, Purdue baseball stays hot with another series sweep to stay undefeated. Plus, a look at fan opinions as a men's basketball team tries to end a 4-game skid following a collapse in Bloomington. I'm Jonah Blankenhorn. Don't go away. Sports is next.
Creeping up from the heathens, got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens, got will, got...
Purdue baseball has been on a tear to open their season. After completing another sweep this weekend against Niagara University, Purdue moves to the only undefeated team left in the Big Ten. In the final game of the series, first baseman C.J. Richmond went 2 for 4, hitting 2 home runs. Also on the final day, the Boilers struck out 16 Niagara batters. On Saturday, Logan Sutter had a historic 6-hit game, going 6 for 8 on the day. Over the whole weekend, the Purdue pitching staff struck out 55 batters. The next series is against Akron, starting at 5 o'clock tonight. The Boilermakers softball team played in the Green and Gold Classic in Birmingham, Alabama this week. They dominated the competition, winning 3 of their 4 games. On Saturday, they beat the University of Southern Indiana 12-0. The game against Belmont, Purdue lost after 1 extra inning, 2-0. Olivia Meeks hit her 3rd home run of her career against USI, and Maddie Eilish pitched 6 shutout innings against Belmont. On Sunday, Purdue finished strong, beating Samford 11-4 and the University of Alabama at Birmingham 9-5 in extra innings. Delaney Reef had 5 hits and 7 RBIs. Eilish finished the weekend with 2 wins without surrendering a single run. The softball team will travel to Southern Illinois for the last preseason travel tournament this weekend. They will take on Southern Illinois University, Purdue Fort Wayne, and Central Arkansas. The Purdue wrestling wrapped up their final match of the regular season at home versus Nebraska on Sunday night. Although they were celebrating senior night, the Boilermakers unfortunately did not emerge victorious. They lost 35-6. Only Orlando Cruz and Hayden Filipovic won their rounds, each earning 3 points for the team. Number 1 in the nation in the 125-pound division, Matt Ramos did not compete, but he will return for the postseason in March. The team will continue to prepare for the Big Ten Championships on March 8th and 9th. 10 wrestlers will be sent to compete. Purdue men's basketball has had a rough stretch for their past few games. Reporter Alex Custer went around campus to see how the community is feeling about their basketball team.
I'm staying outside Mackey Arena here today as the Purdue men's basketball team has suffered an unfortunate road bump towards the end of their regular season. Their previous loss against Indiana University was their 4th consecutive loss for the first time since February of 2020. With only 3 games left in the regular season until the tournament, we went around campus asking students how they are currently feeling about their basketball team. After a national championship runner-up season in the previous year, many Purdue fans had high expectations for the men's basketball team this year. But for some fans, that excitement has turned into cautious optimism. For others, they are beginning to feel tired of the recent string of disappointing seasons.
So I still think we got the weapons and capabilities. We got the best point guard in the country, you know what I mean? And all the other basketball players, they're chill too, they're good. So I think we have the weapons to do well. It's just how we use it. We made it to the finals last year, so I think we can do the same thing.
It's very depressing and hard to watch. I think we'll do okay. I think we'll definitely make it to the Sweet 16, at least that's the goal. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. I think we have a good chance.
Disappointed. We're doing really bad. Our turnovers are insane.
Why can't we score a bucket in 10 minutes?
I feel like the team chemistry really isn't clicking right now. They're only relying on, who is it? The guy with the beard.
Braden Smith. Also, he needs to shave the beard. I don't know what's going on there.
I agree. I mean, it all comes down to the team itself. You know, like they have to work as a team and like use their own strengths and put them together to like build an actual team. Matt Painter can't do that much for them while they're actually on the court.
There's only so much a coach can do. At the end of the day, it's in the players' hands and how they play the game and how they choose to face adversity. I think that he also is probably struggling a little bit after coming back out of a season without Zach Edey. And I think he's also having to grow as a coach as well with these players. So,
The Boilermakers will look to rebound later tonight when they face a tough opponent in UCLA. Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm Alex Custer.
The Boilermakers will face the UCLA Bruins tonight at 8 p.m. in Mackey. Their final home game will be next Tuesday against Rutgers at 7 p.m. Women's basketball suffered a tough loss at number 8 Ohio State last weekend. The Boilermakers couldn't get their offense running as they scored 46 points on just 32% from the field. The Buckeyes dominated on the other end too, pushing up 98 points and hitting 14 shots from beyond the arc. On Sunday, the Boilermakers look to defend home court against IU in their season finale at 2 p.m. It's not just a rivalry game. The team will also be honoring their seniors with a Senior Day celebration. Purdue men's and women's tennis teams continued to dominate this past weekend, with both teams improving to 7-1 on the season while continuing to defend their undefeated home records of 7-0. The men's team performed impressively, defeating number 32 ranked Boise State on Friday 4-1 and defeating Illinois State Sunday 7-0. With 2 singles matches and 2 double matches won across the 2 tennis meets, sophomore Henrik Villanger was awarded Big Ten Player of the Week. Congratulations, Henrik. With such an impressive start to the season, the men's team had been awarded their first ITA, or Intercollegiate Tennis Association, ranking since 2016 of 44. The number 44 ranked Boilermakers will take on Butler at home this Saturday at 3 p.m. Now on to the women's tennis team, who capped this past weekend off with a 4-2 win over our sworn rivals, Indiana. Singles matches won by Carmen Gallardo Guevara, Ida Clement, and Isi Genser helped propel the Boilermakers to their victory. The Purdue women's team moved up to 3 spots in their ITA rankings this week from number 70 to number 67. They will face their biggest challenge of the season so far as they travel to Columbus to take on number 8 ranked Ohio State at 1 p.m. today. That's a wrap for sports, but stay tuned. Fast Track will be right back after this quick timeout.
Imagine a world where Olympics and Paralympics are unified as one, and where all athletes at all levels have equal opportunities to play and perform at their full potential.
Athletics has been such an influential and transformative aspect of my life. So to me, RISE is about ensuring that every person that has the desire to participate in sport has the opportunity to do so.
This organization is about recognition. We believe in recognizing excellence where it is found, especially in Paralympic sports.
RISE is about driving change in our community and beyond. We hope that through our events and initiatives, we can galvanize people for our cause and inspire them to create an ever-growing network to help achieve our mission.
It's about connecting people of various backgrounds and who truly care about creating meaningful change together.
We develop projects and hold events to bring people together at the interface of inclusivity, sports, and engineering.
Our goal is to promote the equality of all sports and to improve sports performance and accessibility.
Join us so that you can have a major contribution in creating meaningful change.
Now it's time for our question of the week.
This week we asked students what the temperature needs to be outside for them to make the switch from a heavy coat to a jacket.
Well, I would say like 60s is where I go t-shirt, but like today I'm vibing with just the sweatshirt. It's really nice, yeah.
Where are you from? Is that affecting this?
Central Ohio. I'm very used to the Midwest weather.
I switch at like high 30-ish, like 40, about 40. I'd go down to a hoodie.
40.
40.
Probably 40-ish.
Okay. Does where you're from affect the temperature?
Yeah.
Okay,
I would say, yeah. We're both from Southern Indiana. Having been from Indiana, I'd have to say probably like heavy coat probably comes off like mid 40s.
Happy Friday, Boilermakers. If you're just now tuning in, I am taking a look at our 7-day outlook. So today we are going to be seeing those windy conditions with a high of 58, but things will be feeling a bit cooler for us as we're outside walking to class today. Looking into our weekend, things are going to cool down just a bit for us with those lows getting into the 30s and 20s on Sunday. But we're going to have sunny skies Sunday and Monday right now. And then as we look into Monday, we're going to have a high of 48. So temperatures are warming up for us just a bit. And as we look into next week, we're going to see some rain on Tuesday and Wednesday. So keep it in mind for that. And then as we head towards the end of the week, things are going to cool down just a bit for us and be in the lower 40s.
That's all for today, Boilermakers. Thanks for watching.
We will see you next week. Stay warm.